Hey everyone, Mike here for another episode of Mike Check. Today we are in my little office here in my home for a home quarantine edition. Before we get started too further into this video, just want to let everyone know that Uptown is open right now. Kind of essentially by appointment only. Right now it's we have a few people there right now. We're going to be rolling out a couple different things such as knock and roll. Essentially, the doors are locked for us, but if you knock upon the door, we can get you what you need, get you going that way, or we're doing free deliveries in the city limits. If you want more information on that, feel free to send us a message. If you also want any, we'll also be shipping out stuff as well. So if you want any information regarding that kind of programs that we're offering right now, feel free to give us a call or shoot us a message on either Facebook, Instagram, your method of choice, and we can talk further about that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with our videos. Hey everyone, Mike here at Uptown Music for another home edition of Mike Check. Today we are checking out this absolutely gorgeous and stunning Eastman AC722ce. So this guy is from their newly revamped line. So they went through and revamped their, I think about 4 models, the AC, 522, 622, 722, and I think the 422 if I remember correctly. So they went ahead and redesigned them, gave them new upgrades, gave them new parts, components. On here, this is an Engelmann spruce top, rosewood back and sides, with their new Dakota Fade finish for their acoustic line. This is a brand new finish that they debuted for their acoustic line, as well with these hurricane inlays that you can see here. I'll shoot some B-roll so you can see a little bit more in depth on these inlays. They are originally from the custom shop, so this is another way they're kind of bleeding down some of that custom shop features and stuff like that down to their regular line. So the biggest thing that I think is the coolest part about this model is you get this ebony armrest on here, much like the Taylor guitars on their Builders editions. So on the Builders lines from Taylor, you get a lot of the scooped armrest for comfort, long-term playability, so you don't get marks on your arm and stuff like that. Not only that, they kind of took a page out of probably Breedlove and Tacoma and some of those other acoustic manufacturers, and hopefully, again, B-roll will kind of show this a little bit better. There's actually a sound port in here, so now you can use this as like a reference monitor for yourself. So a lot of time, guitar players, we have a tendency to lurch over our acoustics to kind of hear it a little bit better, because it's definitely different being on the receiving end of an acoustic rather than being on the back end. So this is another way to get some of that sound coming back to you, which is really, really cool. So on here we have Godot tuners, which is super cool. Really nice tuners on there, kind of like the Grover tuner button style, if you're familiar with those. So we have abalone and turquoise binding, which is actually really cool. It's really, really subtle, and it's really gets picked up when you're actually holding the instrument itself. On board, we have an LR Bags element. It is equipped. On top of that, this is a gloss nitro finish. So if you do have this instrument, a couple of things you'll have to take into consideration in terms of care. Most guitar players now are kind of used to nitro finishes, especially some of the more professional style guitar players are going to be more accustomed to nitro finishes. This guy just sounds incredible. Right now it's strung up stock with Diodario, the regular light gauge strings. We will probably experiment with getting some different strings on here and kind of see how that plays out down the line. This one was sent to us by Eastman themselves. It's kind of a, this model is, I don't think it's 100% released yet, especially with what's been going on lately. I think right now they're just, there's a few of them out in the wild. This is one of them. This sounds incredible. I really, really like this guitar. Sorry not to gush about it too much, but I'll shut up for now. Let's go here and hear some awesome playing samples. Again, with acoustics, I usually use a pick, and then we'll go ahead and do some fingerstyle stuff as well. Before I forget, which I forgot to mention in the last video, I am shooting with a Nikon going into Cakewalk. So far I have not edited anything in terms of mastering, anything like that. I want to keep it pretty natural. The microphone themselves that we're using is an Audix 212B. This is hands down one of my favorite condenser microphones, period. It is so versatile. Here in my little makeshift home studio, I've used this thing for drum overheads. I've used it miking guitar cabinets, vocals. Pretty much it can do just about anything. It is so versatile. Awesome microphone. Highly recommend it. And that is the Eastman AC722ce. Just a phenomenal instrument from Eastman Guitars. Hopefully we'll get some more of them soon. Take care, everyone. See you next time on the next edition of Mic Check.